Can we call the Ways and Means meeting to order, please? Before I go on, there's 5 items on here. I'm going to ask, unless any councilor, and I don't care if it's a committee member or anybody here, if they want to speak on them, I'm going to go right to the ETP fund, place the other ones on the table, and we'll stick with ETP, unless someone else has something else that's pressing, because I think the ETP fund, so everything's going to stay in committee, correct. Yeah, everything's going to stay in committee. The ETP fund will take up tonight, and they'll take a vote on that. I think that was Councilor Regal's motion on that, so Councilor Regal, if you have any questions.
Mr. Chairman, the only questions I had were about one of the requests was, I have no problem with most of the requests, just there's one request for 8 devices, iPads and Kindles, and it's for $8,000, which comes out to about $1,000 per device, and I still haven't gotten an answer whether or not there's anything else that is included in that amount, because $1,000 for an iPad is an awful lot of money, and I just want to make sure that we're not doing anything that isn't.
All right, that's a logical question. The only thing I just want to bring up with the ETP fund, there is the mayor doesn't have control of this. This is actually a panel. Superintendent Paul Dakin is the chairman of it, and he has, I think, the librarian on it and a few other people on it, and they dedicate where this money goes every year, and it's for educational purposes and anything around that in the school. But I mean, a question on what something costs, I don't know, George, you're here. I don't know, that would be something probably for the purchasing agent.
Well, the cost on that's the library's request, Kevin Sheen's, and I wasn't part of that, but that's the amount that he put in. I believe Carol Haney was on that ETP, who was just here, is on that ETP committee, but I'm not familiar why Kevin Sheen put in for $1,000 each iPad. I put a call into him today, but I didn't get back. We didn't connect.
So, George, if I can get this correct me if I'm wrong. The 8 iPads for $1,000 is also something miscellaneous along with that. That's not broken down.
Software. It could be software they're adding. I really don't have a clue. I really can't answer the question because it was by another department.
Can the clerk add anything to that?
Yes, I can, Chairman Penta. I spoke with Kevin Sheehan today, and he's going to get me some numbers. The $8,000 he said was just a rough guesstimate. That's the number he just came up with when he submitted his proposal for the tablets to the ETP committee.
All right, thank you.
I will tell you this. Even though they get the ETP funds, they still have to go through the purchasing requirements, and they have to go through, and it has to be spent on those items. So it's not that they can just go willy-nilly and say, okay, I want to buy this.
Councilor Regal.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I only ask because I know part of the request is direct grant to RHS students, and I think we would all probably agree that the best money spent from the ETP funding would be directly to kids. So if there is a guesstimate and there's $3,000 or $4,000 more that can go to an RHS senior, I think we'd all agree that we'd like to see that go to a senior rather than to an estimate on an iPad. But that's the only reason why I kind of thought about it, and I was asking the question because a small portion of this money is going directly to students, and I think the more money that we can get out to the students, probably the better. Thank you.
Any other councils? Seeing here none, the chairman will take this, unless there's an objection from anybody, take this up for a vote tonight. I mean, it's, like I said, if there's money left over and stuff, and one thing I would ask if the clerk could send Superintendent Dakin a letter saying if there's any changes in this money being given back to given somewhere else, that the council be notified at the next meeting that they may be able to speak. Is that fine?
That's fine, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. All right. No other business. This meeting will come to a close. All right. The committee can vote. It's going to have the council the whole vote tonight, but all right. Want to call the roll call on that? I don't. I think Councilor Canasso's on it. Con-
Tony do it.
Tony took it.
There it is.
Oh, there it is. I can't see it anyway. Couldn't read that.
I found it.
Good.
This is on the ETP funding request. Counselor Rigo?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Guanasso?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Morabito?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Patch?
Yes.
Yes. And Chairman Penta?
Yes.
Yes, the ETP funding request will be reported out favorably to the full City Council.
Okay, and all the other remaining issues will remain in committee and be taken up at a further date, future date. Thank you.